Hi friends, thanks for joining me today. Today's project is a box that you can put cards in. And you'll see that I have two here. One is made from the envelope punch board and one is made from the Simply scoring tool. So the box itself is about an inch and a half thick. So you should be able to put a sizable amount of cards. Recently I was talking to one of my customers and she had mentioned how I didn't have this particular box in my plethora of videos, and she had been making cards for a friend of hers and she couldn't figure it out. So she asked me if I wouldn't mind doing a video on it. So for sure I will, and not only that, but I will do the exact or similar size. It's exactly the same size of a box using the envelope punch board. So just in case you actually don't have the envelope punch board, you can the Simply scoring tool, you can make one with the envelope punch board. And this one opens just like that. So you can see that you can put a few cards there with little flaps, and it closes just like an envelope. Now this one is using Whisper White 12 by 12 square. It's the piece of paper that I started out with. It is a little tiny flimsy because it is made with the Whisper White. You can use a regular cardstock and decorate it the way you'd like. I just really liked the stamp set that I'm using today. It comes from the new catalog, Celebrations catalog, called Perpetual Birthday Calendar. And this actually comes along with a kit that you can make a perpetual calendar, which is kind of nifty, but I kind of like it for the project that we're working on today. So first things first, I'll move some stuff off my desk here. We're gonna make this one first, this one second. So, oh, I'm not gonna have enough room on my desk. Okay. So first of all, what I have here is just a piece of Whisper White. So if you're using the Simply scoring tool, you will need the lid size 7 inches and 9/16 by 6 and 5/16. So I know that measurement is really difficult. And I chose, it's just because of the sizing. We just need the lid to be just a smidge bigger than the base. So the lid again is 7 and 9/16 by 5 and 5/16. So, and I personally, I don't like this 16ths whatever, but it just had to be done. So I have the little dots here, and this was Real Red, this is Island Indigo, and this is crushed curry. And right now I'm going through a crushed curry stage. So I was going to show you just a few little bits of stamping. Try not to waste too much of your time here. So I started off with the red, and then I went in with the Island Indigo, and now I'm filling up the gaps with the crushed curry. And I'll try to do this speedy like, but I don't know, I just felt like I wanted to stamp it. I'm kind of in the mode to do background stamps, or just backgrounds in general lately. I don't know what's going on. And you can leave a little bit of white. So what you see, what I'm stamping on, because this is a photopolymer stamp, I'm actually stamping on my paper piercing mat. But I do have a little piece of paper that I just wrapped around it so that when I go off the edge, I don't get it all icky with ink. I think that's good. Know when to say when, right? All right, I'm gonna close the lid here. So that's our stamping done. And then I'm gonna do some scoring with my Simply Score tool. So if you don't have a tool like this, go out and get one. It's really helpful. So I usually start This is the base of our box, and it is 9 inches by 7 3/4 inches. And I am using the small tip of my stylus, not the large tip, but I will use the large tip on the Whisper White. So my score lines are, where did I, oh, it's easy actually. It is 1.5 all over on every side. So it doesn't matter which side you start on. 1.5. It's an easy box to build. So when we're going to the lid, and maybe I'll do it on this side so you can see better. And we're going to do 3/4 of an inch, and I'm going to use my big knob on my stylus just so I don't tear the paper. And we're going to go 3/4 of an inch on all sides here. Don't worry about writing things down. I'll have it all on my blog, sunstampin.com. All right. So now we need to fold our score lines. I'll do the lid first. I think that this would be really nice to give somebody, since we're card makers and paper crafters, we do like to give cards as gifts. So this could be, I would think this was a birthday. Looks like a birthday design. I thought about putting something else going on with it, but the background was just so playful that I figured you could just wrap it up in a bow or something and design as you'd like. Okay, so there's no rhyme or reason to anything. I just want to cut up that score line. Basically, I want to take out, wedge it so that it closes nice, and I am going to wedge the bottom, so you end up with something like that. Okay, so it's an edge, a wedge. Actually, the client who was telling me that she was trying to make this a card box for a friend of hers, I think it was her sister, and she said that she, looked on my site, and apparently she gave up and gave the dimensions to the box and made her husband do it. And he wasn't very happy with me either, searching around. So this is for you, Rose and Rick. Okay. And for this guy, I'm going to do the same, and it really doesn't matter which side you cut out, and I will wedge that little tab. It's just so that it closes better. If any of you have any special things that you would like me to make a box for, please don't hesitate to ask. Get a hold of me. There's my website has a contact me page, so you can certainly contact me through that. All right, so I'm using Fast Fuse, which is very similar to a glue. It's very strong adhesive. There's a trick to it though. You need to press very lightly, and then you flick it. And that's pretty much it. So I want to put the adhesive as close to the edge as possible, and then like close to the score line as possible. So it's just a very light touch. And I don't know if you've ever watched any of my other videos, I have a tendency just to head for that Tombow glue. But the Fast Fuse and me are becoming friends. So it's very strong too, so I know that that box is going to stay put. So I'm going to do the exact same thing. with this guy. Light touch and then flick. Light touch, flick. Last one. And when you flick, you might want to hold the paper so that you don't rip it. You just want to edge up those. And the reason why we cut, I don't know if you can see, we cut this edge here so that it is, you can't, it's nice and flush. So let's hope it fits. And it should fit on there perfectly. Perfect, nice and snug. So cute, love this stamp set. Okay, so now I'm going to do the envelope punch board, and oh boy, did I get my fill of stamping. I had some fun. Okay, so I have my envelope punch board here, and what you're going to need to do is take a little piece of card. I don't know if you can see. There we go. I have a very bright light up there. Take a piece of card and adhere it right to your 5-inch mark. And I just made inch marks and then sort of, you know, 3/4, half, 3 3/4. Can you see that? And this is just like extra card. It's hard, so it's sticky. So I'm going to be able to, let's see if I can move that light. I don't know. It's very bright. Sorry, it's quite late tonight when I'm doing this. Anyway, because I have such a large piece, so I just adhere it a little bit to my envelope punch board. I wish it actually had a thing that squished out, but it doesn't. So anyway, the paper size that you're going to need is 10 by 5/8. So you're going to need a 12 by 12 and cut it down to 10 and 5/8 square. And my first punch is going to be 4 and 5/8, and there is a 4 and 5/8 mark right here. Okay, so you've seen me use this before. I'm going to punch, put it in the little cave, and score. And watch this edge. Try to go down as far as you can, and don't sort of bend that paper. Then we're going to move over to 6 and 3/4 as best as I can. It's not a science, but punch and score. And then I'm going to turn it. I'm going to get that little pointer up with this first score line that I made. Punch and score. And I'm going to go down as far as I can. And then I'm going to move over to the second score line. And I can just see it. So I think if you're needing to know where this edge is, if your score line did not go all the way, I think it goes to 6. Let's see. Yeah, it's 6. Okay. Punch and score. Next one's going to be easy. It's 4 and 5/8 to the edge as I can, and then this one goes to that, and it looks like 6 and 3/4. All right, last one. So that looks like it's at 4. Matching up. And I think I said 6, right? Okay, you'll see that they're all done. There might be a few, right. There's a few, so I just flipped it over, and I can see that there's a couple that are not scored through, but they're punched. I just want to make that score properly, just so it folds better. And it's pretty much on the tabs anyway, so it's really not terribly important, but it's nice to go over if you can, just to make sure. Okay, kids, that's that. Oh, and of course, because we want it to look all finished and professional, we'll use our corner rounder in the back. I like this, it's just such a great tool. Okay, so I'm going to get my bone folder out and we're going to do some folding and burnishing. That's why I said it really didn't matter if you didn't go all the way to the edge, because you know you've got a score that will help you anyway, or the score line will help you find your way. But it is nice to have a better guide. All right, that's them. Okay, so obviously this is the cards are going to go in this way. This is the envelope part. So I'm going to cut here and up here. And I'm not worried about wedging out because you don't have to worry about that. You can if you want to. Doesn't make much of a difference. Okay, so I'm going to use the fast fuse again. So I'm going to pick one's going to be the bottom. So adhesive on these sides. And then you're just going to match up as best you can. You have to get your hand in there. Sorry, am I too close to the camera? I might be. Just wait until I have to put tape on the other end. I'm going to be really close. Very difficult. Okay. It's not too bad. So what I found, because you can see how it's sort of gaping open now, I want to put the top in and I want to square it up. And then I'm going to put, where's my pencil? I'm going to take where, actually, before I do that, okay. So I'm kind of squaring it up and I'm going to see sort of where this edge runs underneath, and I'm just going to sort of give a little line. And same here, just a little line on the underneath. So now you can see where my pencil lines are. Yeah? All right. So now comes a little bit more funky and difficult, tricky. With my fast fuse, I'm going to go along that edge to my pencil line and go across. Okay, this is I knew this was going to be a little bit difficult for me while I'm videoing, but there we go. It'll do. So I've got from the pencil line to the edge, and now this is all squared up. I'm just going to fold it down, give it a little tap. I'm going to slide under with my bone folder, and voila, you have a little envelope in which to put your cards in. So that's it. Hopefully you like that project, and you'll get a hold of me if you need any of the supplies. SuNN.com. I'm really excited to show you a lot of new projects that I have on the go here. So stay tuned. Every Friday you'll find me making some form of a paper craft box. Mondays, sometimes I might do a technique video. Sometimes it'll just be a card using wonderful Stampin' Up! Products. And of course on Wednesdays I've decided just to do an art video. So hopefully you'll stay tuned, and I'll see you next time. Thanks so much for watching. Have a great day.